Hello and welcome to the NHN. Today we are here with Chris and Dallin of Green Balanced Pest Control, and they are going to tell us all about their passion for getting pests out of your home so that you can live your natural lifestyle in a little bit more comfortable space without all of the pests. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for inviting me here. So I just wonder about your background and what got you into this business, what your education is.
So I grew up with my father being an entrepreneur, and he started a pest control company up in Spring when I was a kid. And so I kind of grew up in the pest world.
Okay.
As young as like 12 and 14. So it's kind of always been a part of my life. All growing up. And about 6 years ago, after spending all these years helping, we've always been, we've always wanted to do something, for ourselves. And we said, about 6 years ago, why not do this? I'm very familiar with it. It's always been something that's been, I've been passionate about. So we figured it was time.
So yeah, we were, I've actually got a degree in, I've got a master's degree in civil and environmental engineering, doing a lot of structural and even geotechnical work. And so at the time we're kind of doing the 9 to 5, and we just felt like there was something more for our family, and then a way that we can help other people out. So we moved to Houston, which is where Chris is from, and started our pest control company with a focus on a lot of education. And really just doing things that we feel a better way, using with the products we use, also just talking to clients and explaining things that they can do to stop pests from getting into the house in the first place. Mm-hmm. Pest control is kind of pest control and nature, and even like natural can seem kind of oxymoronic. Because a lot of times when someone thinks pest control or exterminator, they're thinking come spray chemicals and kill everything.
You're right.
Yeah. And we still get calls from people asking, hey, can you come and just bomb the house? Can you fumigate? Drop a nuke, please. Like, okay, maybe the problem is that bad, but, and we appreciate people giving us a space to kind of explain there are different ways. Pest control is not just spraying chemicals. We kind of do, at Green Balance, it's an integrated approach. It's a different approach to pest control. It's called integrated pest management. And it's a lot of education. It's a lot of knowing kind of how are bugs getting in? Why are they interested in your house in the first place? And are there things that we can do beforehand, even before using chemicals? Or any products, and to keep bugs out in the first place. Something as simple as the weather stripping around your door. We get calls in the midsummer, hey, there's a lot of June bugs coming into our house. Come spray.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the weather stripping around the door. Maybe we can seal that up a little bit more, or things can get fixed and can prevent that from becoming a problem in the first place.
I can testify to that. So I've actually had them treat 3 of my homes. We've moved a lot in the past few years. And I can tell you that I don't have bugs running around my house every once in a while, and then I'll call them and what do you know? It's fixed. But I do love the fact that, yes, you are so big on doing those little things like the weather stripping and things like that, and then also education is huge. And I've called you and said there's these ants, and she explains why there's ants and what they're coming from and how to fix it, and then they are fixed. And so I definitely appreciate y'all for that. So what made you decide, yes, we are going to do this, we're going to start the business in this area? And what areas do you treat?
So we, like I said, I grew up in Spring, mm-hmm. and so I was very familiar with this area. I've had family in this area, and And just coming from that background of my father owning his own businesses and seeing that lifestyle and what it could provide and how he could serve those around him, that just was something that we always knew we wanted. I think when I first married you, I always said at some point, I want to be able to do something where it allows us to, serve our community, serve those around us. And so 6 years back, everything kind of fell in place. It was time. And so we decided to move down here and start our business. And so we service a lot of areas. Katy, Richmond.
The greater Houston area.
Yeah, greater Houston. Houston is so large, so it's hard to say them all. But yes, the greater Houston area is what we serve.
Okay.
And we've loved it. It's been a wonderful fit for our family, and it's been something that we've really appreciated doing. Like we've kind of mentioned, I'm really big on educating our clients, and honestly, through that education, though, not only is it helpful for the services that we do, but it actually allows us to gain a relationship with our customers.
Yeah.
So we've been very blessed to build an awesome relationship with our customers. And through that, it's helped us grow even more as we have that relationship. And then through that, they recommend us and that sort of thing. So it's been a huge blessing.
Yeah, we've been very grateful. We believe if you do good work, then you'll have good work to do. And so. Pest control is we believe it's a lot about building a relationship and just giving space. Some people, they just want us to come and solve the problem and that's it.
Yeah.
We're trying to show a little bit more respect towards nature. I mean, bugs are nature. A little bit more respect to nature and describing, you're seeing these roaches in your house. This is probably why they're coming in, and understanding what that is and, what kind of harm or what kind of nuisance they are, and just kind of understanding more about the environment that you live in and why the bugs are there. And it kind of also lets people understand, like, okay, maybe this isn't as big of a problem as I think, even though roaches are icky. Just understanding why they're coming in, it can help people understand more about the bugs in general.
Yeah, and that's kind of along with our name, Green Balance, is we do believe that there should be a balance in all things, it's not just come in and get rid of every single bug. I can't tell you how many people I talk to, they're like, I don't want to see another bug ever again. I'm like, well, to be honest, that's not realistic. So, unfortunately, I can't help you with that. But
especially in Houston.
Yeah, especially in Houston.
In the summer.
No, but it's about, going back to that education, it's about educating and helping them understand. We really do want balance in all things, This is an ecosystem. They're live ecosystems, and different things rely on the balance of other things. And so we don't want bugs in our house, but it doesn't mean that we don't ever want to see another bug ever again. Right. Because again, there's a reason that they're there. And so people call me all the time and ask about spiders and different things. And so, that's why we do try to educate, because that's one of the biggest things I've had people tell me is I'll start educating and they're like, oh my gosh, nobody ever told me this. And that's something that we find a lot of times. These other companies, people will talk to them and they just tell them, oh, we're just going to do this and this. But they don't really understand what they're paying for or why it's happening or what expectations to have around their home as far as the ecosystems, nesting cycles, these different things that are taking place around their home and why. And so that's why we really try to help explain that so you can understand what we're doing. You can understand the balances that we're trying to achieve kind of around the house.
Right. And I love knowing that I don't have to keep my pets and my kids out of the house for a certain amount of time or worry about it, and then, like you said, like not negatively impacting the whole environment around our house just because we don't want bugs in our house. But so that was wonderful. So we've kind of already covered my next question of what sets you apart, but is there anything else that you feel?
I would say, besides kind of what we've already talked about, I think one of the biggest things is just that we are trying really hard to just achieve that relationship with our customers. So that way, when you call in, who you're talking to, you know our texts, you know that you're going to get the same information. We try really hard to just really not only, educate our customers, but obviously educate whoever is working with us. We want to be able to always be there for our customers and be able to help them, in explaining anything that might be happening around their home. And so, we strive really hard to just be very personable, and to build those relationships with our customers. And to be honest, through that, we've actually gained a lot of friendships.
That's good. Yeah. And then also the person that is showing up to treat your house, you actually know who they are. And it's not just a random person that you're like, oh, they're seeing everything that I own, So I love that aspect too. It's just like, hey, bud, it's good to see you again. Get rid of the bugs. Thank you. And how's your family, And so who would be an ideal client for you?
Anyone in Houston that doesn't like bugs.
Yeah.
More so, we get varying degrees of kind of, bomb the house versus, don't even come in my house. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that we can do around the house to stop bugs from coming in without even getting in the house. And I've had some people tell me, don't come in my house, I don't want any chemicals. Like, that's okay. There are things we can do without chemicals. Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about it. Let's kind of discuss, what are your thresholds? What do you want? What do you not want? There are things we can do in the attic space, for instance, that can help. A green bait we can put in the attic space to keep cockroaches from coming in from the ceiling, which isn't a good thing.
Okay.
And so definitely if customers are more aware, more concerned about products being used around the home, especially those with sensitivities, we're happy to work with people with different levels of concerns, whether that's none at all or more sensitive environments.
We have quite a few customers that are going through chemo,
okay.
And so that's why they choose to use us.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they're just trying to be very aware of anything that they're having around their house.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of see the whole spectrum.
Butterfly gardens or just edible plant gardens in the backyard. Those are things we're all aware of, and we're willing to take the time to understand what's going on around the house, and then also just be aware of that while we do the treatments. It's kind of a balance. You want to have your lifestyle, but you also don't want bugs.
Right.
And so finding someone that can work with you in that and make it convenient and just easy to, there's a level of understanding on both sides.
Yeah.
And then, so you treat bugs, but do you also have solutions for rodents and bigger things?
Yep. So we talk about general bugs like cockroaches and ants and spiders, very common in the Houston area.
Yeah.
We see a lot of termite activity in Houston, being this close to the coast, especially.
Yeah.
So we can help with that. Rodents as well. Mosquitoes is another thing, and we're happy to talk about, are there things that just a homeowner can do themselves to stop these bugs from becoming, or pests from becoming a problem. Whether that's just sealing things up a little more, exclusion work, and then there's also things that we can do in varying degrees as far as products go. Either organic products that we got a list of organic products we can use, as well as even the more standard products that other companies may tend to use as well. We've got the whole list of we can use the whole available list of products approved by the FDA. It's just we tend to be more picky and more selective, especially as we talk to the customer and recognize kind of what their wants are and what they need.
Yeah. So we advertise as a comprehensive pest service.
Mm-hmm.
We can take care of pretty much any need. I always joke. We can take care of rodents, termites, mosquitoes, general bugs, all the things. The only one I always joke about is, I'm like, if you have a bad bed bug infestation, that's the one thing I never dare bring into my home.
Yes.
Please, no thank you.
We haven't wanted to do a lot of those, and we do have friends that are very good at that, and
Yes.
we prefer to do what we're very good at, and we can let you know if there's someone else that you want, someone that we would prefer you work with.
The bed bugs.
Okay. And so, do you have a success story that's kind of one of your favorite of one of your clients?
How to pick a favorite.
So we kind of like we mentioned, it's we believe pest control is a relationship business, and we really love helping people out, especially we'll get calls when people see a cockroach, all over the house or a rat in their house, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not clean. It's just, it can be frightening and people can get emotional. Well, we like to educate and assure them like, it's all right. We can help. Just let us come. We can check it out and we'll let you know what needs to happen. We've had customers that have bought a new house and they started seeing fleas in the house that they bought.
Oh no. Okay.
And then so like, okay, we can take care of the fleas, but why are the fleas there?
Right.
It's because they actually had raccoons living in the attic space.
Oh my goodness.
And so they also at one point in time they found a snake coming out of the roof of their house.
one
person, this
Yeah.
poor family
Wow.
bought a house, and it was just one thing after another.
And we've known them for a long time, so they called us up immediately like, hey, we've got fleas, and then they also saw the picture of the snake and took a picture of that. It's like, okay, you got fleas, but you have fleas because you have raccoons, and there also were rats in that attic at the same time. And so a lot of stuff going on.
And that's why the snake was there. And I don't know if you've seen a rat snake, but they can get very large and very scary. And so when you see this massive snake slithering out from your roof, I mean, anyone is bound to freak out. So,
and then they lived more on the outskirts of kind of the suburbs. So they lived on about 1.5 acres.
Yeah.
And so you just tend to get more wildlife out there,
Yeah.
which new to them is a new lifestyle for them.
Okay. Yep.
Not used
it's
to
quite a
that.
shocking one.
And then a couple months later, they called me and like, we've got termites like swarming out of our kid's bathroom, like hundreds of them. And turned out there was a termite colony that had gone underneath the foundation, and so undetected, unseen. And they had a really tall foundation. Hard to see this coming, but they came up underneath the bathroom and were coming out of the kind of the cracks around the tile in the bathroom. And so, pest problems can happen to anyone, but we're happy to help, and even with all the spread of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the most interesting experience, but they were very grateful that we were there the whole time to kind of just be able to help along the way. And then just kind of like I shared before, we have gained so many friendships actually from years ago, and I would go out and I would knock on doors around services that we were doing that day, and I would get to know the neighbors, and through that we've met people that we've worked with for all these years, but then who have just become very good friends that we will hang out with.
That's great.
Just outside of work, like we'll hang out, we'll do dinners, that sort of thing, and so that's really fun, especially just because it gives you more of that sense of community. And so it's I think a lot of times as adults you have a hard time figuring out ways to make new friends.
Yeah.
That's
Knocking on doors.
Do you want some pest control, but then also, do you want to be my friend?
It's just been rewarding. I get to know the people and their families and even their dogs, and just building relationships over that we're talking to each other outside of me coming by and doing just doing their pest service. And even as people go through hard times, I've been able to just kind of be there for them, and it's been very fulfilling.
So we really appreciate that.
That's great, which is why I am so honored that you guys decided to join the Natural Health Network, because that's exactly what we're looking for, is people with a heart for natural living, and then also that really listen and want to become not only a client, serving your clients, but friendships and things. So you are our ideal person to bring into the network. I very much appreciate your time today. And if you have any questions for Chris and Dallin or want to work with them, make sure to subscribe for free on the NHN website, and they will be listed on our directory, along with all kinds of different health resources for your natural lifestyle. So thank you again. It was so great meeting with you guys, and I will be sending everyone that I can your way. I'll continue to, I should say. I think I've been working with you guys for about 7 years now. So, but thank you, everyone that is watching this, for your time, and feel free to reach out to Green Balance Pest Control.